Hi everybody, welcome to 2OG's Hooking and Stitching Island Style. I'm Antoinette, located here on Deer Island in New Brunswick, Canada, in the Bay of Fundy. Welcome to all the new subscribers, and thank you to all the returning subscribers. I appreciate everybody hanging in there with me and the comments and everything else. You need to stay tuned to the end of the video because there's a surprise announcement. 1 year, August 28th was 1 year podiversary. So I have a surprise at the end of the video. Also, over 500 subscribers. It seemed to have leveled off after the Christmas in July fairies, so I figure those that are with me now are going to hopefully stick around. So there's a surprise for that too. Today I'm going to go through some whips, finished objects, works in progress, a test pattern that I'm doing. I'm going to show you the progress on my afghan, all the blocks I have done. And I have a few makes that were for my great-grandson. And I have all kind of stuff right down here to my left. I have all my project bags because I have made significant progress on my cuff-to-cuff cable sweater and also the Fundy Beige Shawl. And I can happily announce that the entire skirt is finished for the elf coat. I am now on the back panel. Never thought I'd get that skirt done, but it's done. So now I'm on to the back panel. I won't be showing that. There's, it's only got a few rows on the back panel, so we'll go over the other things. Also, I have just been swatching and messing around with stitches for a pattern, new pattern I'm working on. And I also, at the end of the video, am going to have a little installment from Tales from a Small Island by Stirling Lambert. It's been a while since I read something from there, so I thought it'd be nice. Today would be a nice day. I have a nice breeze blowing here in the craft room. I have been very busy cooking. Being that I'm off right now on medical leave, I'm getting to enjoy something else that I'd love to do besides my knitting and crocheting. I love to cook. I literally just sat down 15-20 minutes ago, and I've been on my feet since 10 o'clock this morning cooking. I have almost a month's worth of meals prepped and in the freezer. So I've been busy. But that's alright. I like keeping busy. So how about if we get started with showing you hose or HFOs. I don't know how that works. Half finished object, finished objects, and whips. So let's see what I have. Okay. The first finished object I'm going to show you. My daughter-in-law sent me a message with a picture from Pinterest, and she says, "Mom, can you make this for Jackson?" I looked at it and I said, yeah, I can. So I went and found the pattern. It's a paid-for pattern, but I did it in a little over a day. It is a Scarecrow outfit. This is the hat. This is all done in Caron Simply Soft. That's the hat. That's a little. And this is just a little bit of hay in the back. You don't want it around the baby's face. I mean, Jackson's only 3 weeks old, 3 weeks old. So this was done in like a taupey. This is like a taupe, like brown. It's like a beige taupe. And the pants. And here are the pants. See if I go back a little bit here, if you can see the whole thing. And these are. That's the hay in the legs. It's got a little patch here. This is made. You make. This is the pocket. You make the little patch, and you make your suspenders. Now, I did a little bit different than the pattern, as I made my suspenders straight from the back here. And you have two little buttons here that hold the suspenders on. And I just tacked it right here, so it'll be easier for it. So, and this is made out, the blue is We Love Yarn Mega Ball from Hobie. The yellow is Caron Simply Soft. I think it's lemon. And this light blue here was just something I had, another Caron Simply Soft. It's, I can't remember the name. Just a little ball I had because I only needed a little bit for the cuffs here and the pants. But it's pretty much all double crochet and some front post double crochets up here in the waistband. I did a single, what do they call it, foundation single crochet. So it gave you a little bit more stretchy of a waistband. But that's what I made for my great-grandson, Jackson. So this is all getting mailed out tomorrow. It's an express mail because my daughter-in-law and my son are in Pennsylvania going to see the baby. So I'm going to express it overnight tomorrow, and so they can get it, and they're going to send me pictures of Jackson in his outfit. Now the other finished object, I had a few people ask me about the Babylon sweater. Yes, it is finished, and it's hanging back right there, so I am going to get it and show you. This is the Babylon sweater. It is totally finished. Here, I'll see if I can put it on so you can get an idea of what it looks like. And I'm having a bad hair day because, yes, I cut my bangs because I couldn't stand them in my eyes anymore, and I colored my hair. I had that white halo going on. Alright. This is, let's see if I can put it up here. I'm going to move you back a little bit and see if I can get it all in picture. I don't know if you can see that or not. This is the lace motif, and you've got it around the sleeves here, and then around the bottom. So that is the Babylon sweater. I don't know if you can see me in the back. So it's finished, and it's going out for my daughter-in-law for her birthday. So I'm just going to pause here for a moment. Okay, when I was taking the sweater off, I didn't want to have any whoopsies. I don't think anybody needs to see anything. Okay, I'll show you the Fundy Beige Shawl. It only has, I think, 6 more repeats of 19 rows. It's quite long. As you can see, it's quite long. It's probably, oh, let's see, I'm 5'7". Oh, it's probably 4 feet, a little over 4 feet. It's not even blocked because it does stretch out for the block. But that's each one of these stitch markers I have on the side. I don't know if you can see them right here. They go all the way down. I marked each 19 row repeat. So if I lost track of where I was at, I could just count up. The same as I have these stitch markers. Shows me the repeats going across. It's an easy pattern, but it's easy to mess up a stitch. It's a repeating pattern, increase, decrease. But if I'm working on it when I'm watching television, I kind of mindlessly forget and I gotta take back. These are my nickel plated option needles from Knit Picks, size 7, 4.5 millimeter. So this is the pattern. So it is coming along. I have been getting, oh, and the yarn is Briggs & Little's Fundy Fog. I've showed it before, but I'm showing you again for a reason. But you'll have to stay tuned to the end of the video to find out. So that's done. Now, my cuff to cuff cable sweater, I actually have gotten quite a bit done. I have joined back, and I am on the sleeve, the other sleeve. I have a few more rows to do, then I start to decrease for the sleeve. And then once I get that sleeve done, it's just round and around. Now, what's different about this sweater, I don't know if I've talked to you about it before, is the right side is garter stitch. If you can see that there, let's see here. Get a little bit better. It's garter stitch. That's the right side. The wrong side is your stockinette. So that was a help when, you know, I've been very diligent in marking my pattern. I have this clipboard. It's easy to just And this pattern marker here, I have it underneath here right now, so I'm working under this page. This here goes up and down, and it shows me what line I'm on. But I have got Knit Companion on my tablet. It's supposed to be, a friend of mine has it, Kathy, and I've been watching Stacy from Very Pink Knits video she's had talking about it. There's a free app, but then there's also, you can pay and get more, more options. So I'm going to check that out. But as you can see, let's see if I can sort of kind of show you here what's going on. I'm going to take my glasses off. Now I can't see without my glasses. That's all blurred in front of me. But I've managed, because I was trying it on. Now I put my glasses back on so I can see what I'm doing. I had tried it on. Let me see if I can get you down here. And then to kind of give you an idea of where the cable is on the cuff. So let's get this up here. It's really hard. Well, I hope you can just get an idea. Like I said, I've joined. Where's the back at? My needle's there somewhere. I've joined, but you can see this is the cable. It goes around the neck, and it goes all the way down the sleeve. There's the cable that goes down the sleeve. So I've been working on it, and again, I just joined in the round again. But it kind of gives you an idea this time of what the cable's going to look like when it's finished. I'm really enjoying this yarn. I like it. This Barcelona. I don't know if they've discontinued. I cut my head off again? Yes, I did. Sorry about that. Oh, I'm just kind of scatterbrained today. The Barcelona yarn is a Michaels Loops and Thread. It's a bulky 5. This is called Dusk. And I love this yarn. But I've been watching people, and Michaels has had it on clearance, so whether they're discontinuing it, I don't know. But that is the cuff-to-cuff cable sweater. So I have made some progress on it, and I will continue to make progress on that one. Now, I was taking a break from testing for summer, but this one test came up, and it's not due till December. And I liked the story about how the pattern developed from the designer. Now, it's a secret test. I can only give you a sneak peek, but it's really, these were my swatches now, and these were blocked, and you can see I actually had to go up a needle size, and you can see the difference to gauge the difference in the swatches. I can show you here. So I had to go up a needle size to get gauge. I usually don't worry about gauge except when I'm doing a pattern. Now this pattern has got some new techniques in it that I've never done, so it's going to be interesting. The designer is very active in helping the testers. I am using Stylecraft Special DK, and this is the color Peony. It's a DK yarn, and it is absolutely soft. I got this from Mary's Crochet Chit. She said this to me, sent this for me sometime last year, and I absolutely love it. And like I said, it's very, very soft, and it's 100% acrylic, so it can be put in the washing machine and dryer. There's 322 yards per skein, and the other yarn I'm using is, because this is the contrast color, and I just grabbed something I had. This is Mainstay, Walmart brand. You can only get it in the States. I can't get it in Canada. But I had made the baby dress out of this. But I figured they went together because you have to do a provisional cast on. So I'm just gonna, these are being done on my Takumi bamboo needles. If you look here, you can see the provisional cast on. Now this provisional cast on, once I get the ribbing done, I will be taking the live stitches on, somehow you take your live stitches and put them onto another needle, and you actually have two needles, four needles, but you run two side by side like this, the other needle, and you knit through both stitches. I think this is what they call like a folded cuff, or this is the neckline. So this is due for December, so I'm just kind of slowly but surely working on it, just paying attention to the pattern, and you know, really I got to figure out a way, get some rubber bands to hold my needles together here so I don't lose my stitches. So that's, you know, like I said, that's just kind of on the back burner there. It's not due till December, so, and I'll have a bunch of these whips done. Now, I put my swatches with it so I can keep track. Now, anybody that is participating in the Leisure Arts Heirloom Afghan Cow, I think it's hashtag Afghan Cow 2020, I think, or it was Leisure Arts Afghan Cow. I have to check my hashtag. This is how many blocks I have done on them. This is the first 3 columns. And if you look there, it says block. These have all been steam blocked. It's column 1, 2, and 3. They're done. Now your middle column is column 4, which is what I'm on now. And I've only got 3 more blocks to do in column 4. And yes, there are tutorials coming, but I have to do the block first and make sure that I do it well enough that when I go to do a tutorial, I can explain it to you clearly. I don't want to do a tutorial that nobody can understand or follow. And some of the blocks I had, I frog. So I put that block aside and I just move on to another block. And sometimes I find if I do that, when I come back, my head's clear enough to get in and do the stitches. Sometimes I think a lot of us have a tendency to overthink a pattern when we're doing it. So this is column 4. Now column 7 and column 5, I have 1 block done here and 1 block done for column 5. I took a break and did just picked a number and did it. Now this one here, I'm going to show you this one here for a reason, which will soon make sense to you. This one here is called the aligned cobble stitch. Can you see that? Can you see the texture in it? Okay, this is called the aligned cobble stitch. I love this stitch. One of the great things about doing an afghan like this with all these different stitches, if you're into making your own design, and I'm not saying design to put a pattern out there, you know, if you just like to do your own thing, this is a great way to learn new stitches. Or if you have some of the crochet books and the knitting books, you can, you know, go and you just pick a stitch and you can build around that stitch. You pick a yarn, take that yarn, find a stitch that, and you may have to swatch, you know, or just knit up, you know, a block, so you can see, is that the right yarn for that stitch? You know, if you have to change it, do you have to go up a yarn size, down a yarn size, up a needle size, down a hook size? There's so many different variations. That's why I said my patterns, courtesy of a designer friend of mine that I've tested for many times, said actually what I do is recipes, and that's what I'm gonna do. Prada's Peacock I had listed as a pattern, but it's actually a recipe. I give you the basic ingredients, basic stitches, counts, yarn, but then I put in options to make it your own. So all I'm doing is giving you a recipe so you can make your own project. But to get that recipe done, like in cooking, you have a lot of failures before you finally have success. So it's a process. And like I said, I work on it in between when the creative juices hit me. So that is what I have done on the Heirloom Afghan cowl. And again, this cowl, we were doing it year long. If it's not, there's a lot of people that are not going to be done by the end of the year. No big deal. We'll just take it on into 2021. And just because there's no pressure. I have done a few cowls, but I don't like the ones that you have this deadline. You have to have this deadline. I want to enjoy my crocheting and my knitting. I want to enjoy this design process that I'm doing for my next pattern, my next recipe. So that is what I have done on. Sorry, I have stuff blowing. I opened the window to get some fresh air in here. I can smell the salt water. And I'm sorry I'm in and out of frame. I apologize. The next thing I want to show you is the progress on my Hermione socks. Now, I am still practicing, and I'm actually getting better with the Addy Flexi Flips. I'm doing toe up. I'm going to try cuff down. But what I decided to do with my Hermione socks is I had showed you. Let me get through. Ooh, I see a boo-boo. I see a boo-boo. We have drop stitches here. Oh, one more drop stitch. There we go. Okay. All stitches are back on their needles. I had showed you when I was, this one here, I had done the heel and gusset. As you can see, I got my yarn's all tangled. I got to get one of those little things. I think Barbara from Knitting I Love makes them. They're for DPNs. That you take your DPNs, put them like this, and it snaps and holds them in place, so you don't lose stitches. I'll have to go and check my stitch count on my needles. This was the Hermione sock. It's a textured sock, and I'm on the foot. Okay, so I showed you this. What I decided to do so I don't get second sock syndrome, I started the other one. I cast it on to my other Knit Picks DPNs I got, and I love these needles. And I'm going to go down till I get to the heel, do the heel, and then finish the foot here, get this foot done. So the last thing I have to do is I'll do the decreases together and the Kitchener, and they'll be done. So that's what I decided to do. So it makes me get both socks done. So that's what I have done on, and you can see I'm almost to the heel on this. And I am really, I love doing socks. I'm nowhere near the whiz that Mary is, but I just take my time and I do it. But I'm really enjoying it. And I'm enjoying this zigzag yarn. Again, it was a gift from a very special person. And if you remember, I showed you my bag from Wendy Jo that she made me. This is my sock bag. I love this bag. It is awesome. I hope she sells these bags, because I will buy more of these bags. I love this bag. Now, the other thing that I got a mess over here. I wanted to show you is this basket contains my pattern notebook. And as you can see, I write things, draw things. I decided I'm working with these two colors. Just see how it goes. Okay, just some mainstay yarns. But I had done, I don't know how many swatches in different stitches. But I come up with this. This is just what I've been working on. Right here. And I haven't decided what I'm going to incorporate this into, but I just love the texture on this stitch. Actually, if you have cotton, you would make a great, scrubby. It'd make a great scrubby. But this is just some doodling. It's basically doodling with yarn. So that's what I'm working. So I am working on a pattern. It's just a slow work in progress. So that's pretty much all I have as far as finished objects, whips, and bows. Now, I told you that stick around to the end of the video. So before I read an installment from Tales from a Small Island, I had told you I want to do a giveaway for the Podiversary and the 500 subscriber. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine them into one giveaway, but there are going to be two winners. And I am going to have a knitting prize and a crochet prize. And the knitting is part of the knitting is going to be, because I decided that my giveaways theme is going to be celebrating where I live, Canada and Deer Island. So there will be some Deer Island things in there, and you've seen some of the things I've sent to people, the wooden buttons, ornaments, bookmarks. There's all kind of different things. So there'll be some of that in the giveaway. Then I also have stitch markers that I make. I have some special stitch markers that are just, you know, Deer Island. And the knitting pattern, excuse me. Now Deer Island's located, as I've said many, many times, in the Bay of Fundy. And this pattern, the Bay of Fundy Shawl, the Fundy Beige Shawl, and you see me doing it, I'm going to have a knitting kit. It will contain Briggs and Little yarn. I haven't decided if I'm going to go with the Fundy Fog or the Quoddy Blue. Quoddy is short for the Passamaquoddy Indians that are very, you know, locally. They're all, so it's got a Quoddy Blue, which is about, that's about Quoddy Blue. So I haven't decided. What I may do is the winner will get to choose whether it is Fundy Fog or Quoddy Blue. In the kit will be the pattern, 4 hanks of the Briggs & Little Heritage wool. It is 100% wool. So if you're allergic to wool, you know, I'm just making you aware that this is 100% wool. It is made here in Canada and has been for over 150 years. For a long time before all of these new yarn companies came and local yarn shops, this was the staple for the fishermen and the wives and the grandmothers and, you know, the daughters, all making socks for their fishermen, sweaters, mittens, hats, gloves. This is what they used. And back in the day when the ladies used to make the sweaters to sell in St. Andrews. So the kit will contain, like I said, the pattern. This is a free pattern, so I have no problem. This the pattern, 4 hanks of your choice of the color of yarn, and the circular needles needed to do it, plus stitch markers. And that will all be, and there may be a project bag with it too. I haven't decided that yet. This is going to run till the end of September. Okay. So if you knit, okay, you know, just put a comment that, you know, you like the Regal Blue, you like the Fundy Fog, you know, just comment. The crochet prize will also be some yarn. I'm waiting on, I ordered some special hooks. They're on their way, because that will be in, one of them will be in the kit, stitch markers, and a few other goodies, and maybe a project bag. But those are going to be the 2 prizes. Rules. Pretty easy. Now, I'm not quite sure. I have heard that YouTube says you can't say to somebody they have to be a subscriber. So I'm kind of have to do more research on that. I would like you to be a subscriber, because the giveaways that I do are never advertised. They are only for the people that watch my videos, comment. I have swapped yarn. I have chatted with some of them. I have made some wonderful friends. So that's why I never announce mine. If you want to share it, share it. I don't care. Make a comment. in the comment, I want you to put Fundy Fog or Regal or Quoddy Blue. This will all be in the description box below, how to spell and everything. Now, like I said, the crochet one, I haven't picked a pattern or anything. I think I'm just going to do yarn. There'll be 4 hanks of the Briggs & Little, because this is a celebration. I'm celebrating Canada and Deer Island and the history that this island holds, and Briggs & Little and everything, so I want to share it. So there will be stuff from Deer Island, there'll be something saying Canada. Just never know what I'm going to put in the package. And like I said, stitch markers made by me. There'll be a set of the wooden buttons that Michelle makes. I've showed those wooden buttons before. So that'll be in there. A set of circular needles in the knitting kit, and a crochet hook with the crochet hook. If the person that wins is allergic to wool, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay? Because there are other yarns made here in Canada, and but Briggs & Little is just, it's a staple here. So that's what the giveaway is. It's going to be a knitting kit with the Fundy Beige Shawl. Then there's going to be a crochet kit with the same amount of hanks of yarn, crochet hook, Deer Island, Canada stuff. That's it. I would love you to be a subscriber, like the video, comment in below, Regal Blue, Fundy Fog. Those 2. There will be 2 winners. And I will, at the last day, September 30th, I will draw the winner, courtesy of the YouTube random comment picker. This is no way sponsored by YouTube, not sponsored by Briggs & Little. It ain't sponsored by anybody but me. Antoinette, 2 OGs Hooking and Stitching Island Style. That's who it's sponsored by. So, I hope you're happy. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed and stayed here. Those that I see week to week commenting, you know, you all know who you are. I so much appreciate it, especially now. I'm home and a lot going on, and I just appreciate it. There's been a few that I've chatted with, and I always feel good when I come away from a chat. I feel good when I read the comments. Everybody's so supportive of everything, whether it's the knitting and crocheting, the channel, or just being a person. That's why I always say hugs, smiles, and happiness, to pass it on, because that's what I want my channel to show. Hugs, smiles, and happiness. A big family. Family doesn't have to be blood. We're a fiber family. Okay, so to close out the video today, we are going to read Tales from Small Island by Stirling Lambert, and there's Deer Island. And the one that I'm going to read today is called The Duel in the Park. The date and time were all set, and Deer Island Point, where a public park is located, was the location where the duel to defend a young lady's honor would be held. It was sometime after the mid-19th century, and St. Andrews was still a garrison town. A dashing young officer who was stationed there, a Lieutenant Quayle, went out one night with a number of friends to a dance held in Eastport, Maine. At the ball, he met a young woman with whom he danced the entire evening. The liquid refreshments flowed freely, and as the wine took effect, he indiscreetly gave the young lady his signet ring. The next day, after returning to St. Andrews, and in a somewhat more solemn mood, he told a couple of his friends, the local sheriff and the postmaster, of his indiscretion. A few days had passed, and Lieutenant Quayle had all but forgotten the incident when he received a letter from the young lady's brother in Eastport, asking his intentions. Lieutenant Quayle wasted no time replying to the brother, stating that marriage was certainly not his intention when he slipped the ring on the lady's finger. Again a few days passed, and another letter arrived from Eastport for the lieutenant, who was now becoming noticeably unnerved. He ripped it open as soon as the postmaster handed it to him, and as he read it, his hands trembled, and the cold sweat stood out on his forehead. The girl's brother had challenged him to a duel. He consulted with his friends, the postmaster and the sheriff, who told him he had no alternative but to accept the challenge, and they offered to make the necessary arrangements. Poor Lieutenant Quayle hardly slept a wink until the day of the duel arrived. A boat had been chartered to take the party, made up of the lieutenant, the postmaster, the sheriff, and a doctor, to Deer Island Point. The group decided if the brother did not arrive within a half hour of the appointed time, that they would return to St. Andrews. They arrived at their destination at the appointed time, but the young lady's brother was not there. They waited and watched for the boat from Eastport, the minutes seeming like hours to the lieutenant, but it never showed up. With a sigh of great relief, Lieutenant Quayle stepped back aboard the boat and returned to St. Andrews. The nightmare was over at last. A short time later, the lieutenant was transferred to another location, his replacement being a Captain Wells. As fate would have it, many years later, both Lieutenant Quayle and Captain Wells were sent to the Crimea. By chance, they met one day in a hotel in Constantinople and discussed their days in St. Andrews. The lieutenant told Captain Wells the tale of the duel. Captain Wells roared with laughter and told him the truth of the matter. The letters had been written and the whole incident concocted by the postmaster and the sheriff. There had never been an irate brother. So that was another installment from, Tales from a Small Island. And again, some of these stories are true. Some are conjecture. Some are, wives' tales and stuff. But the man that wrote this book is from Deer Island. His family's still here. And it's just some little things that, some anecdotes and personal experiences and, in his lifetime of things that happened here. So I hope you liked that installment from Mr. Stirling Lambert. And as always, I hope you come back and visit with me, which is weird talking to the camera, but you know what I mean. Virtual visit. There we go. And remember, hugs, smiles, happiness. Pass it on, and it makes the world a better place. I'm here signing off from Deer Island, New Brunswick, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.